My name is Lachlan Parlow, otherwise known as Gaming Blacksmith on Twitter, Twitch, all the above.
So you were one of the first 3D Sunshine users. That was before the Vive.
It was before the Vive. It was on the Hydra.
And today, what did you do?
Today I built a house, a lakeside house in Minecraft using the Vive. Very intuitive.
Yeah.
A lot more, no cables, unlike the Hydra, so that was a lot easier to get used to. So I never was tripping over myself all the time.
Yeah.
And the 3D goggles definitely immersed me more than the flat screen for the Hydra, so it's definitely a huge improvement. The menus are more intuitive. I like the inventory, which you added beginning of this year. A lot, the circle tool is a big plus. The larger inventory of savable stuff, big plus. It's definitely like features adding all the time. The movement in the world is a lot more intuitive now. No more like using the joysticks. It's a lot. You can just click and drag and go where you want to. It's a lot more intuitive.
Yeah.
And it's mind blowing, honestly. I do like that it's a lot easier now to just grab a block and toss it off to the side. You don't have to like worry about it anymore. It's a lot more fun. That used to be a little tricky because sometimes it would just fall even if you had a motion behind it.
Yeah.
The Hydra wasn't.
Yeah.
It was good. It wasn't great. It wasn't nearly as responsive as these.
So you also did the Zeppelin build, which was really the first really big build that was done with 3D Sunshine back in the day.
Oh, that's so cool. Yes.
What was it like doing that build with the,
With the Hydra, this was back before. I'm not even sure that's in anymore. Where you can actually move the world around.
Yeah, we had the ability to arrow around.
Yeah, you had the ability to arrow around, but that was after I built the Zeppelin.
Yeah, you had to type in and reload.
I had to type in
text file. You had to edit a text file to load.
Edit a text file every time I wanted to load a separate section of the Zeppelin, and that Zeppelin is like 10 chunks long. So that was like I had to split that up into like 5 different sections that I had to build through. And I remember one point I hadn't built the engine compartments yet or any of that. I just finished the body, and I had missed one section because I couldn't see how far back I needed to pull the body of the Zeppelin, and I was one section short. And it was like, oh my god. I could have seen that if I could have arrowed over to the right.
Yeah.
Eric could have seen that and dragged it one more, and then everything would have been good. And then when I did the engine pods, that got to the point where you had added the inventory, where I could save pieces from save to save whenever.
Yeah, you could carry them across.
I could carry them across from
That was a persistent inventory.
Persistent inventory, exactly. It used to be if I had made an inventory item and put it on the part tray or whatever,
it would disappear when you restart. It still now actually disappears when you restart.
Oh no.
We just in this version, we haven't even pushed it live yet. The 0.1.6, you'll be able to take things from scene to scene.
Nice.
Or 1.7, sorry, the next one, 0.1.7, you'll be able to transfer from scene to scene.
Nice.
But we still don't have it persistent across sessions, but that should be coming pretty soon.
I remember that came out and I did the engine pods, and I was able to save the engine because I was only able to work on one side at a time because of the limitations. So I made the vertical pod, I made the propeller, and those were all separate pieces, and I was able to put them all together, switch scenes to the other side of the ship with a different chunk loaded, and put those in the same places, and it was amazing. And so I can't wait for that to come back.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to make Zeppelin 2.0.
Awesome.
Three times as big.
Awesome. Well, I don't know if you noticed, like, you can build, the performance.
The performance is amazing. The performance is a lot better. It used to be a lot of very slow and chunky, and if you put too many blocks down, it would just crash.
What was like the biggest piece you could work with back in those days? Like if you wanted to grab a piece.
The biggest piece I could work with, I think it was pushing it with the big circle around the Zeppelin.
Right.
The diameter of the Zeppelin itself.
Yeah.
because I made that a separate piece. I glued that all together, and when I tried to just like drag and copy it, sometimes it would crash, sometimes it wouldn't, sometimes it would just like chunk really hard to just copy it one at a time. And then by the time I was finishing the body of the Zeppelin, it was starting to work a little better. It was actually like the improvements were coming pretty quick at that point. So the first time I did it was like chunk, and then the last time I literally just copy pasted, just dragged it down the body, except for that one chunk, and it just copy pasted beautifully. But this one worked beautifully. I made a big house roof. It wasn't nearly as big as a circle, but it moved beautifully. Even when I accidentally moved it inside something else, it didn't chunk nearly as bad.
Yeah, well, there are new limitations to performance, which you would find if you kept going. So I'm sure you would quickly find those.
Yeah, probably.
If we unleashed you.
I didn't want to make anything too big this time because the Zeppelin took me like 18 hours of work to do, and I had 20 minutes. So
yeah, big difference.
I'm gaming Blacksmith on Twitch TV, and at Game Blacksmith on Twitter, and yeah.